Okay, so let us get started.
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. So hello everyone. Welcome to the session. Myself Rashmi. I'm a business analyst coach and an agile practitioner. I mentor business analyst aspirants on agile and business analysis concepts. So often we get different queries on how to switch from a non-BA role to a BA role. Many aspirants think that this role switch is difficult to achieve, but we are here to state that there is a method to it, and it is 100% doable if approached in a systematic way. Today we have invited Videsh Kasar, who has a similar journey. Welcome Videsh to the session.
Hi, Rashmi. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone.
So dear audience, we will be muting you to avoid any crosstalk. We will take the questions towards the end of the session. So I'll just mute everyone. Yeah. So, all right, then let's get started. So, Videsh, tell us more about yourself and your current role.
Uh, First of all, hi, a very good evening to everyone. So my name is Videsh Kasar. Currently working as a business analyst with Wipro. Prior joining Wipro, I was associated with Reliance Jio Infocom Limited into the digital platforms, and I had joined one startup, SAS Infotech. Considering the experience, I have overall 4 years experience into this profile, which considers IT and telecom domain.
Okay. So, let me take you back to your career again, Videsh. Did you start as a business analyst or you switched from another profile?
So the journey was like post graduation, post I did my engineering, and post my engineering, I was I started my career as a techno functional engineer with Reliance Jio. So it was a campus placement. I started my career as a techno functional engineer, and I was more inclined towards technical side at that time and less on the business side. I was involved with the digital platforms of Reliance Jio since they were growing and they were launching the products at that time. So I was involved more into the like technical side and less on the business side. So I started my career as a techno functional engineer.
So when and how did it happen? Like, why did you decide to become a business analyst?
Okay, so this profile switch happened when I left Reliance Jio. So at that time, what excited me was under the business side. I always wanted to be on the business side. So the business analyst profile, and at the same time, I wanted to involve in the technical side as well. So in a business analyst profile is a mixture of both. Like you are working on the business side and at the same time you're into the technical side as well. So at that time I'd enrolled for an ECBA course at Tech Canvas, so which helped me a lot to get into this profile of business analyst. So the switch happened like 2 years back when I moved from Reliance Jio into this IT domain, and yeah, the course ECBA helped me a lot to get into this profile.
Okay. So tell us about the preparation you did for becoming a business analyst and what were the challenges you faced?
Like as I mentioned that I was more involved in technical side, so I was good with technical, but I was lacking on the business side. So to get the exposure to understand how exactly business work, so at like the preparation point of view, I'd enrolled for an ECBA course at Tech Canvas, and I used to read a lot, and the structured course at of ECBA helped me a lot to get into understand what exactly business analyst is, how to approach business, how to how to, because as a business analyst you're involved completely into this profile, like you have this you're into this project from start to end. So to understand the business rules, like business domain, and that's what I started like business analyst profile. And which the reason why I switched is I wanted to be in the project, from start to end. As I mentioned that I was more inclined towards business side, so that was the reason why I switched to business science profile.
Okay, nice to know. So you moved from Reliance Jio, which is a telecom company, to a pure play software company. Was it a difficult move or a smooth one?
So like when there is a move, it's kind of it's kind of difficult. For me it was not easy, but it was mixture of both, not difficult as well. Since I mentioned that when I was working with Reliance, I was involved in the digital platform only at that side. So which helped me to understand into the IT domain, IT world. So yeah, the move was not easy. At the same time, it was not difficult as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, okay. So, Videsh, how does your typical day look like? What is your role? What do you do?
So currently, I'm working at the client side, and I'm involved into the implementation, maintenance of a project where we get as a business analyst, you are supposed to work on the change management. So I'm more involved to the change management. So like you has the profile signifies that you have to bring change into the like has a in terms of IT applications, the mainframes application, everything. So I'm involved into these applications where we work with the transaction based module where we implement change. So with respect to RBI, if there is any changes, I work on that module. So change management implementation is something. And since the automation is happening all around the world, so I'm involved into the automation phase where we are involved into the planning, like taking any module into the automation phase, figuring out like which things, which modules can be automated. So working on that as well, and I'm working on the UAT, the user acceptance testing part. So as a business analyst, you are sometimes involved into the testing module as well. There's a team, there's a different team as well, which is a testing team. But as a business analyst, you have to go through this test cases and everything. So I'm involved into these, and as a business analyst, documentation is something which we have to take care, because we have to run that part, and if it's a requirement elicitation is there. So I'm involved into the requirement elicitation. Major of the task is into requirement elicitation and documenting those requirements. Then since like ASLC point is there, but which is not common for everyone, but I'm working on that part as well, which deals with the security of the applications.
Lots of work, Videsh, for you. So, yeah, how much did the learnings from business analyst course help you? This question is important for anyone who is aspiring to become a business analyst.
So whenever we have a structured approach towards any learning, if you want to learn anything, I think a structured approach will surely help you to ace that preparation or ace that exam. So like since I mentioned, I'd enrolled for ACBA, so which helped me a lot to understand about the business analyst profile, particularly when and where to apply these techniques. The course enhances your knowledge from a generalized approach to a focused approach. And and we have this case studies, which plays a very important role to understand any module. So there are many various case studies which I have to go through and understand. So the case studies help me a lot to understand about the profile and the implementation part.
Right. Wow. So, as a business analyst, what are the top challenges you have faced? Can you share some real time experience which will be useful to the audience here?
Okay. So as a business analyst, since I mentioned that you are completely into the project from start to end, so there are various challenges which may arise at any time. No day is the same for business analyst, and anything can come up at any time. So for me, particularly, you have to deal with people as a business analyst, and there are subject matter experts with whom you have to deal. So stakeholder management is something which is important. And as a business analyst, there is impact analysis there, like whenever a new module is implemented, so you have to take care of the impact analysis. So sometimes I face a challenge in that module. And there are various system dependencies, like if you want to implement a module in terms of IT. So there are various dependencies on different people, different teams. So you have to be good with people. So I have like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So that's what we have to, as a business, have to have the skills to be good with people and get the job done.
Yeah, yeah, right. So, yeah, Videsh, what is good about being a business analyst to you? What gives you the joy in this role?
So, as a business analyst, since I mentioned that you are involved and you get the complete visibility of the project from business side, from technical side, post deployment. Also, like there are chances where you get to interact with the customers. So you get you are into this project implementation plan from start to end. So which excites me and which I love to do. So that was the reason for which I opted for. I went for this profile, and since from engineering background, I'm more inclined towards technical side as well. So with the profile of business analyst, you get to learn a lot of technical skills and the business side as well. And yeah, and business analyst challenges are there. Like any day, since I mentioned that anything can come up at any time. So yeah,
Yeah,
if you
right.
love challenge, so if you love challenges, then yeah, you can get into like the business analyst. So for me particularly, I love challenges. So yeah, that was the reason.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with you, Videsh. So, thanks, Videsh, for providing detailed insights and what it takes to be a BA. I hope audience had good takeaways from this session. So, moving to the question and answer session now, we would like to open the lines for audience to ask any questions they have. Feel free to either speak or chat using the chat window. Um, let's just go to the chat window and I'll unmute everyone. Or people who want to speak, they can just unmute themselves and ask the query here.
So what I can see, there are few questions into the chat box. One is from Nupur. What course is best to enroll? So to answer your query, Nupur, it depends, like at what experience level you are. So if you are new into this profile, and if you want to get into this business analyst profile, you can opt for ECBA. And then once you get some sort of experience into this profile, you understand the profile, like you say 1 year or 2 years down the line, you can opt for CCBA. And post, like 5 years or 4 years down the line, you can go for CBAP.
Right.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I have 2 years of experience in mechanical engineering in oil and gas industry. So right now, today itself I just completed the course from Tech Campus ECBA course. That was a really nice one. I must appreciate the content. Now, actually, sir, I wanted to ask, like, I am facing the problem, like, how to get into the interview, how to crack the interview, because sir has clearly explained the software development life cycle SDLC part in very much detail, and I have gotten into that. And I have no idea about this computer thing and what you call it as a domain knowledge. So how do I prepare myself for the interview or some good IT company, and how to get the call from interview? Because I have been into IT projects of construction mainly in oil and gas industry. So now it's absolutely different thing.
Okay. So hi Jatin. First of all, congratulations for completing your course.
Thank you.
See, yeah. So as you mentioned that you have 2 years of experience into this oil and mechanical, and you have completed the course of ECPA. So what I would suggest you is to there are profiles you get if you can apply for small companies. And get into this profile. There are companies working in the IT website, mobile applications domain. So there you have a chance to get into this profile of business analyst, and there you trust me, there you'll get to learn a lot from, because you have to manage from business analyst and program project manager roles as well. I have been into that phase, and I think that will help you a lot. And if you just try to connect more on LinkedIn with the connections we who are into the similar profile of business analyst. So LinkedIn connections will help you try to get referrals from any company that will help you to get into this profile. And yeah, just be updated with your knowledge. Try to read a lot of into the knowledge areas of business analyst, because you might get an opportunity any day. Any day can the opportunity can come up, but you have to be prepared with that and to grab that opportunity. And Rashmi, anything you would like to add up on that?
No,
Actually,
whatever. Yeah, it's all you
like
have covered, Videsh.
yes, I mean, just one last question regarding this. That what all do they ask in an interview? Like for freshers, what do they look in for an interview? Because I can explain the contents of the ECBA or the knowledge areas, whatever I have learned. But what are their cutting criterias? Like for a fresher, this thing should be there, or what are the questions I have to face?
Okay. So the questions, since you have covered the course of ECBA, I think you must be having a good knowledge of these knowledge areas of business analyst. The questions
Yes.
are from the knowledge area itself. Okay, the questions are from knowledge area itself. The questions are about your past experience. But since you have into this, try to relate your past experience with the profile. So you must be aware about the business analyst profile in terms of testing, in terms of documentation. Just try to relate and try to frame your answers to to reply to the interviewer. So you have to go back, sit down, just try to reevaluate your past experience, try to bring it down and match with your the profile which you are applying. So that will help you a lot to answer this. So mostly they ask about your past experience, your the documentation part, in what all documents you work upon, and the projects. Basically, the projects, any what you did, what was your role, and everything. In terms of technical knowledge, I think you should have a good knowledge of not this SQL. So because you have to work with data, so technically they'll ask you queries like about basic SQL queries, like select, update, and everything. Basic queries SQL. So you have to have a basic knowledge of database.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
Uh,
Mahendra has asked question about to check the contact number. So I have given the email address and the mobile number both. This is for everyone. Next question is from Bisnoy. What are the can people please go on mute or I'll mute. Um, yeah. Okay. Yes. So Bismoy is asking, what are the automation you followed in your project? Is it robotic automation? To you, Videsh.
Okay. So currently, I'm not involved with robotic automation. So there are user access management, which is currently manual, and we have automated that process through LAM automation. So there is logical access management system we have used to automate all the user access. Like in the applications, you have to give access to all the branch, or like in terms of, I'm talking about the banking industry, you have to give access to all the branch people and everything. So that used to happen earlier with manually, and with implementation, we have implemented that automatically. So you have the flexibility to do whatever, like you have to change your password, like you have to delete, update, whatever you have to do. Now that has been done. Automation has been implemented on that.
Um, and then somebody is asking about the business tools that you have used or you are using on day-to-day basis.
Okay. So, like as a business analyst, you have to be familiar with Microsoft Suite. So basically, if in terms of documentation, mostly Word is enough. So like you document on Microsoft Word and everything. You have to be good with Microsoft Word. And in terms of wireframing, I have used Balsamiq to wireframe. Prototyping is there, which is involved. So I have used Balsamiq, and workflow I have used MS Visio. So I think you should have a fair knowledge, not in depth, but you should have a fair knowledge of these tools. But since business profile is more moving into this data driven world, analytics and everything, so you have a data visualization tool, many, so you can just read about that, and you can try to learn the data visualization tools as well.
So, yeah.
I want to ask a question. Yeah, I've done my CCBA certification, and now I'm applying for jobs. I'm basically based in Dubai. But the thing is that the job profiles of the business analysis, they want a lot of things. First of all, they want domain knowledge in any industry, particular banking or somewhere, and then they want you to be good with Microsoft Excel, then Visio. So I have fair knowledge of Babok now, all the knowledge areas. But the thing is that I'm feeling very, I'm not feeling confident because the job profiles when I see like the JDs, they will have a lot of skills they want. So how do I apply? I have an experience of around 7 years in testing, but I am in a gap right now because I am taking care of my baby. But now I want to get back. But since not having these skills, my profile is also not getting shortlisted because I just cannot add them into my resume. And if it gets shortlisted, then I do not pass because these days some tests they take online itself. So I didn't pass. I gave one of the Microsoft Excel tests. I didn't clear that one. So how do I make myself confident for applying to these business analyst roles? Because I want to get into a business analyst role now.
Okay. Uh, Hi, Shweta.
So, may I know
So,
who is asking this question?
Yeah, Shweta, yeah,
Yeah,
Shweta
Videsh.
Gupta.
am I audible?
Yes.
Uh, since Shweta, you mentioned that you have completed your ACBA course, so congratulations for that. And since you mentioned that you
I
have
Yes,
have
Videsh.
7 years,
completed CCBA. I have completed CCBA certification, not course. I did the certification.
IIBA certification,
Yes,
right?
you are.
Yes, the second level
Okay,
CCBA, I have completed that.
okay, okay,
So,
okay.
don't get demoralized.
I cannot hear you. No, I cannot hear you.
So, Shweta, have you
Rashmi,
done agile analysis as well?
No, I haven't done that, but I have
Analysis. Am I
experience
audible,
in Agile.
everyone? To everyone,
Yes,
yes,
audible?
now
now
you're
you are.
audible.
You have done your. Yeah, so you it's just timing which matches, Shweta. I believe that the right time you'll get yeah, different openings. Please don't get disheartened. It just it depends on the market situation as well, and just keep practicing on your skills, whatever you have learned, and yeah, confidence can be built up with the proper practice. So if you have good practice, that will definitely help you. So I mean, I'll suggest that take keep on brushing up on your skills so that you are prepared anytime whenever the interview is happening, so it will help you a lot.
No, but Videsh, do we develop on the other skills like my Visio, Microsoft Excel, and domain knowledge?
The domain knowledge will come only with the experience. If you have on a certain experience, certain domain exposure, that only you can build on. So what was your earlier experience on BFSI or manufacturing, I mean other
It was
industry
into
where you have worked on?
financial services, finance.
Financial services. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so definitely you can build upon on your BFSI domain, and yeah, I mean, reading a lot, and there are so many small videos, short videos, tutorials available on the BFSI. So you said that you have a good experience of 7 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was your profile earlier, Shweta? Was it into development,
No,
or what
it was into
exactly it was?
testing. I was a senior
Right.
QA.
So yeah. So moving from QA to business analyst is not a, it's a very simple move. It should not, I mean, it's just a matter of time. You are not getting the right match for the profile. So just keep updating yourself and be prepared. So whenever the interview comes, you will be able to whenever the opportunity comes, you are, you can just nail it there. And
Okay.
domain knowledge can only be learned, I mean, yeah, it has to be practiced, and it has to be, on a daily basis. You read so many BFSI tutorials. Everything is available on YouTube, and you can just brush up and keep prepared. That's what my suggestion is.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I have a question.
I,
Like, I'm presently working as a technical writer, documentation specialist in my present company. But if I would like to transition to BA role, so what requirements do I need, and how can I convince my manager that I have these skills now and I'm ready to take up this role?
So Nupur, I would suggest that within a company, it's the situation is different if you are switching your role within the company. So one of the very simple thing will be to do a certification course, and you can present it to your manager that you have been certified in this area, maybe CBA or CBAP, or whatever you want to take up, and then you can just show it to your manager. It yeah, so that will actually uh, give you edge over the other candidate.
Okay, so ECBA is better than CBAP, or like for if I have to first take up any course, then is your recommendation for ECBA or like CBAP, which will
So
be at this point?
yeah, so Nupur and everyone, what I'll suggest is you can get in touch with our tech canvas team, so they can, depending upon your profile, they can actually help you out with what course which is suitable for you. So I have actually mentioned about our email address and number also. So it's not only for Nupur, for everybody, that you can just get in touch and you just share your profile, so that it will be easier for us to help you out also.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
hi,
you.
Rashmi. This is Brijesh. Can you hear me, Rashmi?
Yes, Brijesh, I can hear you.
yeah, Bridget.
Okay, great. So I would like to answer this question from Nupur. So she wanted to understand whether she can go for ECB or a CBAP. So there are different levels of certifications in this. So that depends upon your previous experience, all right? Because ECB is the level 1 certification. Okay, so that gives you a lot of learning also, because that training is something wherein you get to learn all the skills from scratch. Okay, so if you do not bring in any business analyst experience earlier, so ECBA would be the one which will help you in learning all the skills, and that course will prepare you for the certification as well. The other two certification, when you talk about this CCBA and CBAP, so therein there is a prerequisite of having some experience of a business analyst. All right, so CCBA needs around 3,750 hours of experience in business analyst area. So that nearly comes somewhere around 2.5 to 3 years experience, and then the level 3 CBAP, which needs around 7,500 hours of experience, which nearly comes to 5 years plus experience in business analyst area. One thing I would like to highlight here is that when you talk about the business analyst experience, so IIBA they want to have they want you to have the experience in these areas. Let's say if you do not have a designation also, then that's fine, because when you write your application to IIBA, so in that you need to mention your experience in these areas. So there are different knowledge areas wherein you should have the experience in these areas. In fact, if you want to check your eligibility, so we also have the eligibility tracker. Okay, so we have our own sheet. So therein we can check your eligibility, whether you are eligible for ECB or whatever level are you eligible for. So that can be checked. I hope that answers this question.
I would like to ask a question.
Hello, Rashmi.
Hello. Rashmi.
Yes, Shivam.
Yeah. So right now I'm a software developer. I have an experience of 1.3 years. So I just wanted to ask how hard it is to transition from the role of a software developer to a role of a business analyst. Because right now I am just a coder. So I get the requirements and I code according to those requirements. So I'm in a product-based company. So whatever requirements we get to build the product, so I code according to that. So I just wanted to know about the transition thing. Like Videsh can answer that.
Yeah. Hi, Shivam. So I
Yeah, hi.
think for a coder, for a developer, it's the switch is gonna be easy because you have the technical skills. You know what the functionality you're building upon, and since you get the requirements, so you have the flow of what requirements you're getting. But I at the same time, you if you have the structure approach, like what are the knowledge areas you have to go through knowledge areas and understand like what exactly this business analyst domain and knowledge areas about. So I think structured course will also help you to make a switch. But since you mentioned that you get the requirement, so you are good with the functionality. You must be doing the unit sanity testing as well. So
That's
for
right.
you, the switch,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yeah. So for you, it's gonna be easy, but you have to just practice upon the business side skills, and you have to understand what exactly the skills you need on the business side. So that will help you to make a switch.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Rashmi.
So Jatin has asked how much travel is involved in this profile. Yeah. Let me take this question, Madhu. Yeah. So Jatin, it all depends on the project and the company you are working with. It is not that BA profile has to travel or does not have to travel. So yes, Madhu, you were coming to your question, please.
Okay, so my name is Madhu, and I'm basically a .NET developer with 7 years of experience. So currently, I'm trying to move to business analyst role. So should I choose BA or technical BA? Which one would be appropriate?
So
And also, what are
they yeah, Madhu, you were saying something.
and also what are the pros and cons like being a BA or technical BA? So what is the difference, and which one would be better for a
So
developer moving to BA role or technical BA role?
So, like for me, the profile is business analyst, but I'm involved in technical. So there is no separate as in technical BA, but it's an IT BA. So you can be into this IT BA and you work on the business and the technical side as well.
Okay.
And since I mentioned to Shivam as well that for a developer it's an edge, for tester as well and for developer also. Since you are good with the technical side, you have to get to understand the business side as well and the knowledge areas of business analyst, which will help you to make a switch.
Yeah, Videsh. So
Okay.
Madhu, just to add on this, for my understanding, there is nothing like BA and a technical BA. It is more of a, uh, domain understanding and a business analysis understanding. Uh, so,
Okay.
please mute yourself, whoever is not muted. It's giving lots of disturbance. So yeah, coming to you, Madhu. Um, the BA and technical BA, it is all the same thing. I think you are asking for a technical consultant role if you are looking for that term.
No, basically, I've seen few advertisements where they have mentioned technical BA. So I was not clear whether it is a BA role or technical BA role. But you're saying that there is nothing as such like technical BA. It's only purely BA role. So
It's
there I
like
was a
mix
little bit
of,
confused.
okay. Uh,
Okay.
so
Yeah. Now I
yeah,
got the
so
clarity.
right,
Thanks,
right.
Videsh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Rashmi, there are a lot of noise in the background. Could you please mute the people who are not talking now? Yeah, I guess now it is better. Okay.
Um, so I think we are done with the questions, or did I miss some question here?
Hi, I have a question. I have a bachelor's in computer science and an MBA, but the professions have actually been quite in variety of industries. So my question is to know about the domain knowledge. is it wise for us to have a pre idea about what kind of domain we would like to get into, or would it be wise to just start as a junior BA and move on from there?
Okay, Videsh, you want to give because you have worked in one
Yeah,
telecom domain and then to
yeah.
technical. Yeah.
Mhm. So I think if you're entry level BA, I think getting into the BA profile first and then building upon the domain knowledge will help you, because you might, if it's a multi-domain company, you might get into a banking domain or a healthcare domain. So I think getting into the profile first and then building upon the domain knowledge will help you, like, to get the domain understanding. So first, I think you can read about the domain knowledge like separately. You can go through and you can read about the domain. But building upon domain knowledge will come through an experience only when we work into this no, into any organization. So you can't read and build upon the domain knowledge. I would say it will help you, but domain knowledge will surely come into like handy when you get some sort of experience, live experience.
Thank you, Videsh. Can I just ask one more question, if that's okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So it's also about the testing that you mentioned, that during an interview there's a possibility of the interviewer asking about testing. So where do you really prepare yourself for functional testing knowledge?
Okay. So suppose if I would like to give an example. Suppose if any application is going live. Okay, so there is a different, as a BA, sometimes you work on the test cases, or else there is a separate team which works on the testing part. So basically, for a BA, they might ask you a question relating test cases. How do you prepare test cases? Sometimes there are chances that you might get to prepare test cases. Sometimes you have to just perform some sort of basic testing and then hand over to a team, SRD team, to perform the testing. So these kind of questions they might ask. Any functional knowledge, like, any module which has the functionality to be built upon, and you have to prepare test cases based on that. So what I have faced till now is there's a separate team. I am not completely involved in the testing, but yeah, you get to go through the test cases, test plans, and everything. I hope
Okay,
that
thank you, Videsh.
answers the
Thank you.
question.
Videsh,
Yes.
Videsh, Shweta would like you to share your perspective on her question. Actually, if you can just read her question in the chat box, please.
Yes, please, Videsh.
How to build knowledge on BA tools like Visual Domain Knowledge, Excel. That is a question.
Yes, because I have all the, I think now I have the knowledge of all the knowledge areas and I'm quite comfortable.
Yeah.
But
So
how to, be prepared for the interviews and get calls? Actually, my profile sometimes does not get shortlisted. If it gets shortlisted, then I lack on a lot of skills.
So, Shweta, trust me, your profile is amazing. You have experience. You are a certified CCB as well, and you come from a testing background as well. So you have a higher chances to get into the senior BA profile. So since you mentioned that visual and domain knowledge, since I mentioned that domain knowledge is something which you get to learn through an experience, through a live experience only on, like, you're working with an organization, or else you can read upon it. Like, there are various, since tech canvas also, we have, like, on YouTube channel, if you go, there are various YouTube videos on domain knowledge, on banking domain, on healthcare domain, payments domain is there. So for a domain knowledge, you have to read about it, and once you get into this any organization, then you can, from there you can build upon the domain knowledge. And for tools like Visio and Microsoft, like, you can go through YouTube videos and you can just learn up, because there are tons of tutorials available on Visio or any tools. Because and in Tech Canvas also we have, I guess, Microsoft Visio. There is a tutorial lectures available, I guess.
Okay, does Tech Canvas provide any campus interviews? Just can
No,
you?
yeah, Shweta,
So
actually, I
I
would like to answer this question. Yeah, when you talk about the campus interview, we usually, used to get a calls, but that's not that frequent actually. So before this pandemic, actually, we used to get a call, in a month, we used to get one or two calls from companies for their requirements. All right, but still we are getting like, within once a month we get a call. Yesterday also, we got a call from a small company. So we sometimes get calls, so we simply share those requirements to our aspirants. All right. So, but we don't, we don't commit any job placement as such. But of course, if we get to know anything, so we always inform our aspirants on them.
Okay, so I am taking your just the question. What is that sample question? So you will
Right.
do you share those interview calls with us also, or only the people who go and take the live
Usually,
course there?
it is for the students, like, who all have taken the courses from Tech Canvas. So there is a
Because I am not
WhatsApp group
based in
actually, so
India,
that we
so
have
it's
created.
very, yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
you will not
Yeah,
be
yeah. I guess
sharing
you're
the,
not in India, right?
yeah. So you will not be sharing the JDs with us. There are no remote jobs available.
Right. So mostly the calls which we get, I mean, we get within India only. So international calls
Okay.
we don't get actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but there are some lot of remote jobs going on these days, right?
Right, right. Yes, yes. There are. So what
Okay,
I'll
thank
suggest, I
you.
mean, if you, yeah, we'll connect you through email. Okay, so we'll
Okay.
take your contact and I'll ask my team to add you in that WhatsApp group. So you'll be updated about the requirements what we come across.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Videsh.
You're welcome.
so we have another question from Anand. He is asking, could you please provide a little brief about business analysis as a practice rather than a role? Here I mean how SME or domain consultant can work as business analyst without having actual role mentioned on paper. So
Okay.
my understanding, Anand, here is SME is someone who has spent a lot of time on the subject. That's why he has become subject matter expert. And business analyst, yes, he also has to spend a little time in the project. But after a business analyst can become a subject matter expert after spending some amount of time. And here business analysis is more of um, what we say that a bridge between the client and the customer facing, we call as a customer representative here. So the role is a little different. Even on the papers, if it is different, it is different. Am I right, Brijesh and Videsh?
Yes, yes, Rashmi, what you said is right. So, well, like, as a business analyst, you work with a subject matter expert. You work along with that person. You take the requirements from him, and just and make it work in terms of a real environment. So, since you mentioned that it takes a time to get into this profile of subject matter expert.
Um,
Ma'am, there was a question. Can I ask, please?
yes, Jatin, please.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I had asked for the travel part of this BA role. Actually, what happened with me is that there was some health issues, and because of that, I could not continue with my construction job. So I was my major switch. The purpose of switching into the IT was that I was looking for a sitting job. So since I'm not a this thing, I'm BTech mechanical, so I cannot do coding, etc. So the BA profile was the one that is the best suited for me. So now actually I just wanted to know from Videsh that how much travel, because sometimes the client out of out of the city, or maybe the travels are there, or you have to go to certain places at the client's location. Like that is what I wanted to ask.
So, Jatin, what I think is making a career choice and switching in a profile based on this, since you mentioned that you want to avoid travel and you want to do work which requires no in office premises. I think that is something which you have to figure out because what exactly drives you to get into the profile, which is more important than this. So, since you mentioned earlier as well by Rashmi, that traveling is something which is dependent on company and organization. Because for me, there is no travel, and for or maybe other BA, he must be traveling twice or thrice a month. So it completely depends on the organization which you are working around. Um
Since there is a little limitation is there regarding health or something, so is it right this career regarding this, or should I think something else? Like I still have time.
I couldn't hear you properly, Jatin.
Like, is it wise to choose this field because I was not open to
Can
travel?
you
Like,
repeat your question, please?
sorry, ma'am, there was a disturbance.
So Jatin, we have I am yeah. So Jatin, to answer your question, I believe there are companies and projects which don't require any travel at all, but there are certain projects and companies which require traveling. So it depends on companies and the candidates' comfortability whether they want to take that role or not. So it is totally, absolutely on the company and the project requirement whether the travel is required or
Like
not.
once or twice in a month is fine with me, but like if they every
Your voice
once.
is you're breaking, Jatin.
I was. Is it audible now? Yes, I was.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I
better.
was like once or twice in a month is okay, but
Yes, you are
sometimes,
audible.
like in sales profile, you have to travel almost every day or 2 times in a week. Then that becomes quite a difficult thing because when I was going to the course requirement, elicitation pages are there. So because we have to deal with the requirement and elicitation, if everything goes like online, we are discussing, we are into a webinar. That's perfectly fine, but since I have no practical experience of the BA role, that is why I was asking for advice.
Okay. So Jatin, like since the traveling part, the company in JD forehand they mentioned like you have to travel for particular sometime, like you have to travel once or twice. So they'll mention in JD that whether the traveling is required into this profile or not. So since we mentioned that it depends from organization to organization, I don't travel at all. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So I think we have covered all the questions, or participants, do you have any more question?
I think so.
Yes,
There is
B.
a question from Abhi, I guess. Abhi.
Abhi. Okay.
Abhi and Bhavna.
Bhavna Thakur. Okay. I think we address Bhavna. Please address my question. Okay. Let me just go up. Okay. Okay. So Bhavna's question, I'll take it first because it's just scrolled up and it came in front of the screen. It's question to you, Videsh. Videsh, I have 2 years of experience into sales. So what would you suggest for us ECBA certification? And after that, should we go for interviews or we should build up some more skills? Kindly guide.
Okay. Moving from a sales profile to business profile needs a structured approach, I would say, because so I think going for a ECBA, which is an entry level business analyst, would be an suggestion from my side because you'll get the knowledge of knowledge areas, the business analyst profile, the technical skills, whatever required will be taught into this. So I think ECBA certification will help you, and after that should we go for interviews. So I think when you're going through this course, that at that same time you try to build up on your skills, try to take any website or any applications and try to write your own requirements, try to document all these requirement, and try to understand the functionality of any, take any app or any website. So which will help you to enhance your functional knowledge in terms of and once you're confident about your skills, you can start applying for interviews. You can try to connect with people, and then I think you'll be in better position to crack the interview.
Okay. So I think Swati and Abhi, they are looking for something. Swati and Abhi, do you mind pinking your questions again? Because I think I've lost in the chat window.
Bhavna wants the banking profile mainly. Okay, so you have to read, like you have to understand, and you have to read a lot about banking, and you can go for a course with ECBA with banking domain, ECBA with whatever domain you're. Because I had taken for ECBA with banking, so I had a fair knowledge of banking domain. I got to understand about the different how does bank work and everything. So you can go for ECBA with banking if you want to get into this profile of banking, into the banking domain.
Okay, I think we are running short on time. It's already 8:53 now. But
Yeah,
we'll
Rashmi,
quickly
actually,
take
we
two
have
more
to
questions,
address
2 or 3 more questions. Videsh
Abhi's
still wants
question
to know.
actually.
Okay, Abhi, you want to speak? You can please speak now.
I think there's some issue at
Abhi, can you please
Abhi's
unmute?
end.
Abhi, can you please unmute yourself and speak now? Your question. I think he's not asking
So Abhi's
also.
saying there's some issue. I guess he has unmuted himself, but we can't hear his voice. His question is: I have 1 year of experience in international talent acquisition. Can I switch in BA industry? So Abhi, since I mentioned the structure for Bhavna, because you have an experience which if you try to match with the profile of business analyst, it is bit difficult to match with the BA profile. So whatever I've mentioned to Bhavna, like you try to get into this ECBA certification and try to understand the knowledge areas and try to understand the business analyst profile, the different domains and everything, and build up on your skills in terms of technical skills, whatever the SQL database is required, and in terms of wireframing, to try to build up on your skills, and then you'll be in a better position to make a switch.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Videsh. Yeah, I would like to highlight that for the domain part, actually, there are different courses at Tech Canvas for multiple domains. Like we are into banking, so there are different courses in domain like banking. As I said, apart from that, we are into investment banking. Payment is one domain. Okay, trade finance is also there, and then we are into US healthcare domain training and supply chain domain also. So there are multiple domains, domain training we provide at Tech Canvas. So that can be taken. Those courses can be taken separately also. So that's into a self-learning mode as well. Yeah, that is one. And secondly, about that Shweta's question, actually, if you're coming up across the requirement, all right, and if you feel like you have challenges, you're not able to appear the interview properly. If you are facing challenges in appearing the interview, so there is a job readiness package at Tech Canvas wherein we prepare our aspirants for the interview. So an expert would be assigned who is going to help in aligning the resume, and there'll be a mock interview conducted, and the detailed report will be shared to the participant.
Okay, so like it should happen within the window, right? Like when the profile gets shortlisted and then I get the call. It should happen immediately. It does happen that way.
Sorry, I didn't get this question. Could you please come again?
No, yeah, you're telling, see, if I get a job interview call and I would like to go for a mock interview preparation, so the time slot will be very small, right? So if I request at that time, it does happen
Right.
in that time frame.
Yeah,
it can happen.
that can be arranged because there are yeah, it can happen immediately because there are multiple people in the panel. Okay, so I mean
Okay.
we'll be able to conduct at given time.
So how can I opt for this option?
Yeah, that's available on the website also. If you want, you can connect through. We'll share our contact details in the chat box, so you can connect through them as well.
Okay, fine.
Right.
So one
And
last question,
for
Swati has
question, yeah. So, sorry,
so Swati
Rashmi.
has asked. Sorry, can I go ahead, Brijesh?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Swati is asking, is domain knowledge matter or just BA process knowledge would suffice? Um, so to answer Swati, domain knowledge will definitely help, will actually give you edge over the other candidate, no doubt. But yes, business application knowledge, process knowledge is also required. You have to demonstrate a good knowledge on both the skill set. So I hope that I have cleared the question. Okay, so I think we are done with all the questions. So
Yes, Rashmi. Actually, yeah. So we have a question answers forum as well. All right. So I'll be sharing that link in the chat box. So if you have any further questions, so if you come up with any other questions in future, so you can always reach out to us through that forum. So we always answer questions there as well.
so so let's get we'll just wind up quickly. So I mean, everybody knows that business analysis is a vast domain. Different roles like product owner analyst, market analyst, research analyst, IT analyst, architects are available in the industry. And if we structure properly and understand the situational application of these learnings, the switch of the role will be easier, and this will also help one to have a long inning in the industry. So we at Tech Canvas wish all the BA aspirants for their successful BA journey, and good luck and thank you all. Thanks, Videsh. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Rashmi.
thank you
Thanks,
so much,
Videsh.
man.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Brijesh.